Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Champions League podcast.
We need to get used to these Tuesday and Wednesday nights, don't we?
Right. That's back on the TV. How are we doing, fellas?
Oh, what a game.
Doesn't get much better, does it?
I think my heart rate's only just got back to resting now.
Yeah, it was. I was sat there literally on the edge of my seat for the last 45 minutes, and obviously we'll discuss it a bit more. But a couple of them last 6 minutes of injury time was
horrendous.
Just hard work. We are live. We are on YouTube, as you can obviously see. Hopefully, you are watching. This will obviously be going out as a podcast as well this week. So for those of you that don't know, on Sunday we played at home to that little team from North London, Tottenham Hotspur, and we won 2-1, which it weren't really a surprise. We are the best team in London.
Not only did we win 2-1, but I absolutely nailed the prediction.
You did
on the preview episode. 2-1 win. Antonio and Lingard.
You didn't back it, so
why didn't I back it?
Start backing them, right? Maybe a pounds is on each, because if they come in like that,
we've had a couple now. We've had James against Leeds.
James,
against Tottenham. That's a couple.
We've had the money times as well, but it's good. So everyone back in this week. Aguero hat-trick, Man City.
No, not Aguero. I'm hoping Ruben Diaz hat-trick. I've got him in FPL.
We'll come on to that. So, who wants to give me their first views on the game itself and our performance as a whole?
You know what? You never start, Daryl. So you start, actually.
Oh, that kind of you. I thought I was just the host here with you three.
Until James had a drink.
I normally sit back and just watch you guys. I don't really say anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, all
right. Before I do start, I again want to say thank you to Ryan Archer for joining us last week and retweeting stuff. That is our best episode to date. We had well over 150 views, so thank you to Ryan for that. Right, my views on Sunday. Sorry. What can you say? We outplayed for. I think, all right, we might not have outplayed them. We outfought them as a team for 90 minutes. That was a full team performance from a side that is just getting better and better, that I'm starting to love a lot more as we go. Back four again, fantastic. Rice and Zucek, fantastic. All four attackers, fantastic. I know Bowen had problems, but he set that first one up. I can't fault him at all for his effort. The whole team was phenomenal. I didn't think we'd come out of that game with 3 points. We all said beforehand we'd take a point. Like, there's not a lot more really I can go into apart from going into the specifics with players. But the work rate, the quality, going forward, we looked dangerous every time we had the ball. Every time we had the ball, and we looked solid for 85 minutes. They started to look like they were going to score an equaliser at the end, but I can't fault anything that we done.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think we probably deserve to win. I think a draw probably would have been a fair result if we look at this non-bias. Like, I've even got XG up here. West Ham 1.17 to Tottenham's 1.1. So they saw it as an equal game. Our chances we created were very good chances, but they just had so many. But
they obviously hit the woodwork twice. That second one, when it looped back off Son and just looped over Fabianski and hit the post.
Kind of felt it would have been deserved after Lanzini's weldy. It would have been like, fine, we got a bit of luck. You just
at that point when it didn't fall to, who was it? Was it Sanchez? It didn't fall to. Or was it?
Yeah.
And I was, is this going to be our day? That it just fell just to the other side of him. It's like, I think I know what you were saying. Like, I feel like Tottenham, like, we were lucky. Kane had a bit of an off day. Like, he was only a fraction off from hitting the target on these all of these shots, and I think as soon as Bale came on, as much as I thought, ironically, they're one of their best players. They took off in the first half.
Yeah, I think everyone felt that. Lamela,
yeah, I was like, why they took him off? But then I was, at the same time, quite happy. But then when they bring Gareth Bale on, he's not exactly the worst substitute to make, is it?
I'm not going to go too much into detail on Bale yet, because I actually want to discuss Bale a little bit further on. So
Lamella was on a card as well, weren't he? And he's always the sort of player that can easily pick up a second.
I guess tactically for that reason, the change probably had to make, and like that's the thing with a team like Tottenham, they have got such a good squad that you can, like how often can you take a player like Lamella, that's probably arguably their best player on that game at the time, take him off and then bring Gareth Bale on. Like not a lot of teams have that luxury.
Yeah,
so
I think the main thing
that's to say, that's one thing that Tottenham can't say is that they've not got a good squad.
I think we go into this game, and I think we go back to like the preview. I think attacking wise, we always knew they were going to be a threat. The main thing that's hampered them is Mourinho's. They're so one. In the first half, they were targeting the left-hand side all the time. It was always going through Son and Reguilon. Like Kufau dealt with it reasonably well. And in the second half, you noticed it that Bale was getting a lot more of the ball. It was the key. They opened it up. But the problem for them is, oh my God, that defence is horrific. Dyer was terrible. I don't know how Davinson Sanchez is getting a game. He was horrific. I think the defence was gettable. There's no one in that defence outside of Reguilon I actually rate that well. And we exposed them. Like the 4 chances we had were decent chances.
It's a sign of like normally a Mourinho team is built on a solid foundation defensively, and they just haven't got that at the moment. For the last couple of years, Lloris has been shaky, and you never really feel fully confident in him with him in goal. And then, like as you say, the back four, Reguilon's very good offensively and going forward, and he is probably one of their better defenders. Like that was his first game back after about 6 games out, so probably they were banking on him helping out a bit. But Dyer and Sanchez as your centre halves, that's not a top 4 team, is it? Like we're sat here in 4th place, but like we haven't got the defenders that you think, oh, that's a top 4 team. But neither have they.
Yeah.
But then if I give you our starting say 4 and their starting 4, apart from, and I know Cresswell's had a fantastic year. I know he has. But if I picked Cresswell Reguilon, I'd probably go Reguilon, right?
Oh yeah, I think
everywhere else. If you give me, I'd go Ogbonna. I'd probably go Dawson right now over Dyer. I'd definitely go up over the pair of them, and I'd go Kufau over their right back. Aurier's an absolute liability.
I don't think Aurier's that bad. I think Aurier's
he's a good player. He's just a liability.
But then he didn't play, and I think if he'd played on Sunday, he would have made a real difference because Tanguy weren't bad when he was on, but he weren't good going forward. So that's why they brought on Doherty. And when Doherty come on, he was shocking.
Yeah.
He offered nothing. If Aurier was there, I think he would have been a bit of a threat. I think Aurier's their scapegoat. I don't think Aurier's that bad, but
I think as Daryl summed it up really. He's not a bad player. He's just always an accident waiting to happen. You can always. It was like if you've seen the All or Nothing Spurs documentary, they have a bit with Mourinho talking to him, and he's like, "You're a penalty waiting to happen with VAR. Like you're always likely to give away a penalty, and that's what you're always expecting from a moment of madness." I remember a game at the London Stadium a couple of years ago when he got sent off for 2 stupid yellow cards, and you can't really build your team around a player like that you can't trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And right now, as I think we said the other day, there's 4 or 5 players that are really good players, and obviously 2 absolute world-class standout players for them.
Yeah.
I'd take our team, not personally as players, I'd take our team over their team right now because of what we're doing.
I think ultimately they're a better team than us. You look at the squad, they're a better squad than us. But right now, what Moyes has done has galvanised this team, and we've got a great squad, a great team that everyone wants to play for each other.
I think that's the difference. Moyes has got a team going, and everywhere Mourinho seems to go, it's Mourinho this, Mourinho that. Look at him on the sideline that first half. He was getting on the pitch, he was roaring. You don't need that.
Do you know what I noticed, Daryl? While you was talking about that there, I was watching one of the streams. It didn't have any crowd noise at all, and he was proper effing and blinding.
Yeah, he was going nuts, and there was no need. He was holding the ball back from players. He was trying to give the Spurs, but he really annoyed me. And I quite like Mourinho normally, but it was all about him, and that don't help anyone when you're struggling. Don't help anyone.
I think one thing I just wanted to say is, and we've said this so many times this season, and it just shows how far we've come. This time last year, this time last year, we do not win that game. We get a draw at best because they scored their first goal with about half an hour left to play. We would never have held out with that before, and now you're seeing that strength of character to be able to hold out for it and hold them off for the rest of the game.
Declan Rice's interview, I think it might have been the
talk.
He was like, this time last year, we would have conceded then, we'd have probably gone on to lose the game.
Even the point he made about Mourinho was brilliant.
Yeah, it was like, right now, we don't fear anyone. We believe we'll hold out. And all right, we got lucky. And when you're in a run like you are, you get the luck. If it was the other way around,
you earn your own luck.
If we were down in 17th, you know for a fact that one that comes off Son goes in.
Yeah,
that's the way it is. And you see it all the time. Luck. If you're having a good season, you get the luck. If you're not having a good season, it don't happen. And we see it every year. Right, player wise, first
everyone.
I think we need to talk about the big lad in midfield. That headbutt, that clash of heads was pretty sickening to start with. But what a fella to literally get up with blood pouring down his face to try and block the shot again before he went back down on his knees.
You know how Moyes made the point about he doesn't like players looking for penalties and stuff. I think that kind of shows the difference this team has to probably others. I watched the Southampton Leeds game early tonight, and you see the Southampton player look for a penalty. I don't expect that from West Ham. You see Souček, he was pouring with blood. It was horrific, and he was like,
there he is.
He was the first thought he had was, I'm stopping the goal. He's brilliant.
This is the question I had at the time, right? Because that come back out, it come back out and had the shot again, and it carried on for about another 3 or 4 seconds before the whistle was blown. If they'd have scored there, do you think we'd have had something to moan about because it was a head injury?
Yeah, I think it was a foul. I personally thought he was late.
When I first watched it, I shouted, I was like, head injury, stop the game. Souček's probably done himself, he's hampered himself there by getting up again so quickly because the rest probably thought, oh, he's fine. Because I think was it Sanchez? It wasn't it?
I think Sanchez was still down.
He got up fairly quickly, but like Souček was straight up. So if he'd have stayed down, the ref probably would have blown quicker. But yeah, like you say, David, there definitely would have been an argument.
Yeah, I do agree. But for the rest of the game, he was fantastic for 90 minutes after that.
I thought everyone on that pitch
was Souček's best all-round performance of the season. I thought he was just didn't put a foot wrong the whole game, along with Rice again, and we'll talk about Rice in a minute because that block's just phenomenal. We'll talk.
Look, I know you lot give me stick that I probably you lot think Rice is world class, and I'm probably like he's great, but I don't think he's at the world class stage just yet. With every game that goes by, that guy just steps up. That last tackle, at no point he should get that ball. At no point.
Do you know what? I watched something earlier. It was 2 Tottenham fans that were doing a reaction video. I think it was the Gogglebox one, and they blamed Kane's ball not being good enough.
It was incredible.
I see that. They're the 2 idiots from when Lanzini scored, wasn't it? Yeah. He was brilliant. Declan was fantastic. So we'll come on to Declan. We said it in the chat. That was Kufal's probably hardest game of the year, first half. Son and Reguilon first half. They were there. Probably the best 2 players. And to keep Son quiet.
Yeah.
Every time Son gets the ball, normally you're looking, he's going to get a shot off him. Kufal did not let him get anything off at all at any point. And I was getting the ump with Bowen first half because it seemed like Bowen obviously wants to attack. He's an attacker. And he was giving Reguilon a lot of space, but he didn't half track back well at times, Bowen.
Well, James sent in a video to our group chat where it was a guy who looked into figures like why West Ham are doing so great this year. And you look at our attacking players like Fornals and Bowen, we pressure teams so well. We've got a group of players that do put in a lot of tackles and interceptions per 90. We've got a lot of players that will work for the team. Like people like Anderson, I know we've got a lot of players that will buy into the system. Personally, I know Bowen played a big part in the first goal, but I don't think he played that well. there were so many times he was 1-on-1 with Dyer, and he just looked fat, and it disappointed me because I thought he could have done a lot better.
If this was at the start of the year, he'd have been taking him on. He's just low on confidence. That's all it is. You can see it. He's low on confidence. There'll be a game, something will click and he'll be fine. I have no problems with Bowen at the moment.
Can I right now just kind of admit I was slightly wrong on Jesse Lingard? Because I remember saying to my friends back in September that Jesse Lingard might not play for England again, and I'm now starting to get worried because every game he's played for West Ham so far has been brilliant.
I can't wait.
You're not alone, though. There's quite a few people that that weren't 100% behind the signing of him.
Oh, I wasn't, but
most of us.
The thing is, right, with him, and the way I see it was, it's another bit of competition. In the group chat, I was quite happy at the time. I think I said on a podcast, I was quite happy with it as well. It was more competition. The likes of Fornals, they're still quite young players as well, and they weren't quite getting it. All he's shown for me so far is he's got quality in abundance. He wants the ball. He wants the ball. He wants to attack. He likes to defend as well. He brings everything to the game. And Noble said it. I read something with Noble. He said he couldn't believe how much quality this lad had. He knew he was a good player, but the quality, and he's just shown it. He has stepped up. He is now probably behind Rice and probably Dawson right now, the third player on the team sheet every week.
I think right now, Fabianski, Creswell, Dawson. Fabianski, Creswell, Souček, and Rice have all played every minute of every. Sorry, not Fabianski. All of them have played every minute of every game. I know Souček was sent off, but if you go 1 minute to 90 minutes, all of them have played every single game this season. Like,
there's only 6 players in the league that have played. Well, if you're including Souček, only 6 players in the league that have played every minute of every game, and 3 of them are playing at West Ham.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Because again, you keep in a set side there, and
that's right.
Rice played like every minute since September 2018 or something, right?
Yeah,
like,
he's not missed a game in 2 seasons, has he?
What I would say, let's segue on to Rice. Again, it just summed up Rice in. There was 2 or 3 plays that stands out in my mind. That's is Rice. The tackle in the midfield, where he was tracking back, and I actually thought at the time it was a foul where he was coming from behind. But when you see it again, it's time to perfection. The ref knows it. He plays on. He gives this pass just in front of the player. That is Declan at his best. And that block, if you look at where he starts from when that ball is out to Kane, he is a good 3 or 4 yards behind that. I think it's Son. He's miles behind him, and just to get back and make that block is just phenomenal. And that is
as soon as that ball got to Kane, I was like, "That's it, done."
Yeah.
And then to get back in, like on the first live viewing, I couldn't tell what had happened. Then when you see the replay, it's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I've got a mate who's a Liverpool fan. He was like, "Yeah, that was pretty mustard," and he don't really rate him. Our people can still not rate him as a player. He's beyond.
You look at him. He averages 4 tackles.
Don't understand football.
He averages 4 tackles and dribbles a game. His progressive passes improved from last season. Everywhere he needed to improve to become a footballer who could probably play for a top 6 club, he has. And right now, he is arguably the best holding midfielder in the league.
I think he's also a guaranteed England starter for the summer.
Him and Jordan Henderson are your centre midfield partnership. No arguments. Them 2 are stonewall starters.
Yeah,
I don't know, mate. Have you seen Liverpool lately?
Yeah, but he's. I thought Jordan Henderson's unlucky. Henderson's unlucky. I think Henderson's been brilliant this year.
I wonder if Henderson knows as much as Daryl does when he gets put at centre half.
Let's be honest. I've been not a doubter, but someone who's probably said, "Look, let's be a little bit cautious with Rice." Every week that passes by, at the start of the season, I said England can't win a Euros or a World Cup with Rice. I'm now starting to think we can. The more
that makes me laugh.
It's starting to go in his head a bit, isn't it?
No. I've got a point. At the start of the season, you wanted Moyes out.
I still want him out. Get out.
Oh, yeah, we're about to go and play Atletico Madrid away in the Champions League. You're like, want him out.
Jamie, like what you say about England wouldn't be able to win a Euros, and now we might with Rice. The only problem is, in our group, it'll be up against Souček and Soufal.
Oh.
What a battle that'll be, Rice.
I've already booked that day off work.
Do you know what? That's another thing where you can realise how, like, it's not like when you look at all these other teams that are in the top six, and they've all got players that, you know, they've come all from different other nations that are on the world stage. So when they do play in these national tournaments, you know, they do play against their teammates. We don't often get that, because if we get that, you know, very rarely do we. And
it'll be the minor nations as well.
Yeah,
it won't be like your Germanys, your Spains.
Yeah. And if we do, it'll be like you said, like a minor nation.
Who you'll be supporting on the 22nd?
I was going to say this. I was like, Skidders that
because
night.
you love was tech mates.
I think you'd have an England top on with Koufal in the back.
What is it? England get knocked out from a Thomas Souček header in the 93rd minute. Everyone in the pub smash their glasses, and James is there like,
Koufal bangs in and turns his
We'll all
top
be
back.
like, if England, obviously, when Czech Republic ain't playing now, we'll be like Bilic was in the Euros when he was standing up on the tables in Payet.
It's really interesting as well, because we'll get to watch them. Obviously, two players, as you said, that we really love at the moment, playing against our boys and see how they step up against an England side. And it'll be two players we can watch and enjoy against two other sides in our group as well. And we can watch and enjoy their games. And it'll be something like I don't find international tournaments hard to watch because I love them. But there's games where you're like, what am I interested in? What have I got to be interested in?
Like
now,
Russia v Denmark.
Yeah, exactly. Czech Republic now, we've actually got two players we are really, really interested in. And we'll probably sit there and watch them just as much as we watch England games.
I have to admit, international tournaments this summer could be incredible. Like with obviously the announcement of the UK.
No, the only problem with that announcement is I wish they've done it the week before, because I know we can be in a pub and it'll be rule of six and you can sit indoors. But if they'd have done it for Scotland on the Friday,
do you think that's tactical? Do you think that's smart? Do you think they did that on purpose? I know we've gone on to government policies now, but
no, it's all 5 weeks apart, isn't it? That's it just adds up like that. So
yeah, but they could have done 4 weeks and 4 days and give us Scotland.
Then you do expect like people to, like, even so, England Scotland's huge. Like that
it won't matter. We'll have six tables in a pub. All of us will be there. It won't matter until we lose to Scotland. Then it'll be riots everywhere.
At the risk of us going back to talking about West Ham, just came to mind. What on earth took VAR so long to give us that second goal?
I don't know about VAR. I believe the line. I thought it was but 4 hours that hit it. That's why he put his flag up.
Do you also think because he ran towards the ball? Because let's be honest, the way the offside law is, he's onside. But the offside law is all a joke now. That he probably should.
But he wasn't.
The thing is,
he didn't interfere at any point, did he?
Yeah. The thing is if you make a run to the ball, that's considered interfering with play, which is fine. I get that. I understand that. But from the very first replay, you could see when it came off Lingard, he was onside. That was it. Done. But why did it take about 2 extra minutes?
They also check other things.
They were looking for anything, weren't they? They were desperate to just find something.
No, because the other thing they do is, so we saw it in like the Southampton game. They'll check the initial thing they want to check it for, but then they'll make sure that there's not something previous that will highlight an issue previously. That handball was never. Look, everyone live thought it was a goal. I think I've probably been the biggest cynic of VAR out of the lot of us. Look, it came to our benefit today. I still want it out of our game. Ultimately, I can't support something the second it supports us, but the lino had a stinker there.
Yeah.
While we're just at this point, if there is anyone watching, and I'm sure there is a few people, if you've got any comments on the game itself or on City at the weekend, please let us know, and we'll share them obviously with everyone. Let's talk about Lingard a bit more, because he was instrumental the whole game going forward. What a classy finish as well with his left foot.
Yeah, when it went through, I thought, Fornals had the better position, like to sort of wrap his foot around it and try and curl it into that far post, but he struck it so sweetly, and nothing Lloris could do about it. It was just inside the post. Yeah, it was perfect. And he looks like he's playing with so much confidence.
There's been some really good finishes this weekend, but I don't think anyone expected him to strike it first time when he scored.
No, because the thing is, he had a chance sort of similar in the first half when he tried to square it back to Antonio with the outside of his right foot. And I thought, he should have hit it straight away. And then obviously second half he went, why not? Let's bang it.
Again, while we're there with Antonio, for someone that's been injured for 3 weeks, put in a hell of a shift.
Yeah, he looked fit and firing.
Yeah. And this, I think, obviously leaving him out of Sheffield United, I think he was probably fit enough to play some point against Sheffield United, but leaving him out for another 6 days worked. You've got to give Moyes and the backroom staff their due there. Saving for Spurs. I think we all said saving for Spurs as well, and it's worked perfectly. An early goal, great following up, finish up, love that.
It's a team he's scored more Premier League goals against Spurs than any other club as well.
Don't he?
Did Tottenham save Harry Kane for us as well?
Probably.
They weren't going to play in Europe.
That European side with whoever, shouldn't they? Really, they should.
You look at they should beat that European side. Harry Kane was only there for if they were struggling.
Yeah,
ultimately.
2 more things I want to discuss before we move on to City. That back four again. You can't moan at anything. One sec, Jay. We said it on last week's podcast. Anyone that steps into that back four right now is stepping up to the game. Okay, Diop at times positionally he weren't at his best, but what a game that lad had.
I thought Diop, that's his best game in a West Ham shirt probably since Man U at home last season. I thought he was incredible. 2
times my dad picked it out because he got put on. I said it to him quite early. It's like everywhere Kane goes, Diop is up his arse. Diop is up his arse and tight. There were 2 times positionally that Diop got it slightly wrong, where Kane got a bit of time. The one at the end and the shot. It's only 2 times he put a foot wrong. And if he's doing that against Kane's going to get chances at some point.
Yeah.
Diop right now, again, Bonner's still the number 1 defender in that side, but Diop's proper fighting for a place right now.
I think right now you don't bring Bonner into the team if he's fit, just because you earn your spot. Like for me,
they didn't do it as Balbuena. You look at what Dawson done. Balbuena's now 4th choice.
Exactly, and I know we all love Bonner, but they're working. They've conceded 1 goal in 2 games. Don't change it.
It's a good problem to have, isn't it? Healthy competition for places. You can trust anyone to step into that position, and you think they're still going to do a job.
But also, on top of that, if they do, as a morale thing, they know they're going to get their shot. Like Moyes isn't afraid to swap and rotate them. So, just say for example, there is a for in this case, Bonner is injured. Okay, that Diop might know that if he's still performing, he's not going to get straight swapped back out, even though he's playing well. Showing that level of confidence in your players is clearly working in them.
And it's also good. It's also good for our rotation when we're on our European tour next year.
Can I just say, it's now came out that if Dawson plays 5 or 10 more games, we sign him for $2.5 million. $2.5 million's already been paid back. Yeah. He's paid that $2.5 million already. That guy has been right now. I think he's up there for my favourite player. I just love everything about him. I just think he's brilliant.
Who would have thought that at the start of the season?
Do you know what? If he would have been at the start of the season, he'd definitely be a nominee for Player of the Year.
No, my thing is with it though. At the start of the season, would he have been this impactful? Probably not. No. He's had time to bed into a side and gain confidence with a side that are playing well.
And he got a small shot, didn't he?
He's coming at a time where we were not too sure on this when Balbuena get an injury. Coming against a good side, he's just powered on. Absolutely powered on.
I'm stealing a Matt Stats thing here. Since he came in, we've played 10 games, 7 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. There Jesus.
That's ridiculous stats for West Ham United, isn't it?
That's mental.
Don't expect to hear that.
That's never happened in the 30 years I've supported them for.
I think the biggest thing for me defensively was that it took them until about the 42nd minute to have a shot on target. Like Kane had one chance that he snatched wide earlier in the first half, but like Fabianski didn't have a lot to do, which just shows how far we've come as a side over the last year.
Like it makes you feel. Oh, sorry, Daryl, go on.
I was going to go back to a point we made a minute ago. Like that defence is a real good problem right now. Same as that attacking midfield is a good problem. We still have two major problems in that side. Obviously, the striker situation is a major problem. And Zucek is now on 4 bookings. One more for him. He obviously misses a game.
No, because he's past the deadline. It's 10.
Past the cut-off.
I thought March was a cut-off. When was that cut-off?
Nah, it's now like December. It's like halfway through the season. I think it's like
sure?
Adamant. Yeah,
definitely. After March, it went up to 10. We need to check that to make sure. So please do check that now. Because then I might be well wrong. But still, if that midfield is still a problem, if one of them do go down and Mark Noble has to play more regularly, it will become a problem for that side. But if they're the only 2 problems we've got right now, it ain't a bad thing. So, Matt, you're on mute. You're not now, go on.
Any player earning 5 bookings from their side's first 19 Premier League matches will serve a 1-match ban.
Right, okay. So
it's fine.
Which is right, that's good. That's good. Because I thought before it was about, February sort of time. Because then it goes up to 10, doesn't it? So, James, do you want to make that point you're making quickly before we move on? Or have you forgot it? Okay. One last thing.
James, you're on mute.
One last thing.
I can't remember what it was anyway.
I know we're not a Spurs podcast, obviously, but I just want to say Gareth Bale second half. I know he's got a lot of stick recently and Mourinho's not playing him. He was their best player by a country mile.
And he showed it obviously when he played on the Thursday in Europe. Obviously, it's the opposition weren't as good as he came up against on Sunday, but he's showing signs of the class again, because obviously Mourinho singled him out a bit for like lack of fitness and things like that. And he said if he was fit enough, he would have started on Sunday. But when he came on, like James said, he turned that game around. And if anyone was going to win it for him, it probably would have been him. He hit the bar.
That volley is technically so good.
He does strike a ball so sweetly.
And as it dropped to him, I was just thinking back to that strike at Upton Park. Oh my God. That was the day I realised I hated that fella so much.
I remember watching that.
Not that he's just Welsh, you know what I mean? That he hits a ball like that. So
I was watching that down the peg with a couple of Tottenham fans, and I literally sunk into my chair like, why? It hurt.
I was in the Bobby Moore upper when that went in.
Oh. Did you have your child seat, James, so you could see what happened?
I
did. Sitting on a stack of yellow pages.
We was in the breaking up, but the other one that done me was the Paul Stalteri goal, 06.
I was
meant. The thing is, I didn't go to. I had a season ticket at that point, but I didn't go because it was a Sunday and I had a Sunday game, and I couldn't have made it in time to get there. And I was watching it, so my mum still went. I was watching it on the TV with my dad, and I was like, when Tevez stood over that free kick, because that was his first goal for the club, I went, "This is it. This is going in." Kicked it, and then just the roller coaster of emotions on that day.
That was Noble's real sort of
coming out party.
Yeah, brilliant. We went to Watford that year, and the song was Mark Noble. Oh, Mark Noble. Oh, he's only 17. He's better than
Roy Keane.
Everyone was buzzing, just fantastic. That atmosphere was unbelievable at Watford Vicarage Road that day. Right, let's go to a break. I think James has done a very special sort of advert for our mid episode break, and then we're going to come back and we'll talk sort of where we think we'll finish up this year and Man City at the weekend. Okay. Moyes to men, Backstreet Moyes. I've heard a few of them.
Yeah, Backstreet Moyes is my favourite one.
I like Moyes to men. It's very good. All right, City at the weekend. We'll come to Matt stats in a minute. My question, which I think Jamie just put there, right now, 4th place. Don't bring City into it at the weekend. where do we finish? Where would you be happy with? And what do you think we should? Where do you think we should finish if you take sort of happiness out of it?
Anything outside the top 8 now, I think, is a disappointment. Honestly, I think we should get Europe. I think I tweeted this and I went, if we win this game, it's a buffer. You kind of create a buffer, and you really send out a message of, yeah, we're fighting.
It's a can we?
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Like West Ham suddenly appears on Sky Sports on the odds thing at the bottom when they talk about it.
There's still probably 4 weeks to get through before I can really go, right, we're a real good top 7 side. You've got obviously City the weekend, Leeds, United. I think Chelsea's coming up in that sort of run as well. They're real tough games, right? And you could easily go. We see Leeds tonight against Southampton. Yeah, they can concede goals and be battered 4-0. But they could easily go batter teams 3 or 4-0. These 4 games that are coming up, all right, we haven't seen this yet, but we as a team could easily go on a run where we don't win a game. And then we're probably down in 7th, 8th, and we're going, top 10. I know what you're saying, Jay. It's very it's unrealistic right now. All I'm saying is, before the weekend, if I'd have said I'd have still taken top 10. Yes, maybe top 10 now is a bit of a disappointment from where we are. But as a club, top 10 is still a massive, massive improvement from where we've been.
I think top 10s are certain now, basically. If you look at like odds and stuff, we probably are basically guaranteed.
Still 13 games left. And you think,
I know, but I think if you look at
9 points behind us, if Arsenal beat Leicester at the weekend, and Arsenal in 11th, 10th, 11th, if Arsenal beat Leicester
7th.
And we lose to City, that goes to 6 points. Yeah. That's not a lot of points. And we've still got to play them yet and all. Like,
it's weird how we say that though, but like you look at so I'm looking at it. Yeah, they're 11
Arsenal are 11 points, so that would go to 8.
All right, okay, sorry, 11. But still 8 points is 3 games. You've got to play them again as well. You've still got teams in there.
I think you're probably being a little bit too pessimistic now, personally.
I think I have to be because I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
Yeah, we've been bitten before.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything not.
You don't want to be bitten now, do you, sweetheart?
Can I say something very quickly as well? I am still of the factor I don't think we're ready for Europe.
Oh no, we're not. No way.
I'm still with.
Completely agree.
I had a big row with, and I'll say his name and put him out. Lee Thomas, good mate of mine. I don't agree with some of his views on football, but I don't agree with a lot of yours on football either. And you use it the same with me. But he thinks like we're a massive side. We should be pushing for these things. And I'm like, okay, right now we've got I think we're like the smallest squad in the league. We've got one of the oldest squads in the league. So, and we've got 2 owners that really don't like putting forward when we need it. So if we get sort of Europe or Champions League, whatever, Champions League would be amazing, and obviously we'd be buzzing and all stuff like that. But I can see us next year being in a right, big maybe not relegation battle, but it will not be the season we want.
It won't be.
If we finish 8th and we don't get Europe, it's only a stepping stone then to go again, invest in a side, get younger players, get a bigger squad, and go again. As long as you keep Rice and Zucek and potentially Bonner for another year, you're laughing.
I think the thing is though, like to go to the question, I think we should be looking at European football now. Anything lower than 8th is probably a big disappointment from where we're currently sat. Yes, I know we've got some hard games left, but you look at our run-in towards the end of the season and it gets a bit easier. So at the end of the day, we're all playing the same teams twice. I think if you get that European football, it gives your bigger players an incentive to stay. It earns you more money, which gets you more of a transfer kitty, maybe, depending on what the owners are feeling like. But you get a decent amount of money for qualifying for the Europa League. Plus, obviously, every position higher up in the league, you get more money. So there's no reason that we can't push on, invest in more squad depth. Because if we can keep finding bargains like Soufal and Soucek, we haven't got to go and break the bank. As long as we have to trust Moyes now in the transfer market to go and sign the right players.
If we do get Europe, I want it to be group qualification or the very late round.
I think it will be though,
because 7th and going to Astra Garugulu again and getting knocked out. I can't do it again. And I see their owner the other day. Did you see that?
No,
like their owner got nicked. There was a video.
Yes, I did.
For money laundering. Yeah, he got all through the airport, straight up police, like, banged him up. Brilliant. But we got look at them twice.
Yeah, I don't.
Go on, James. Sorry.
I was going to say, like, regarding European football, like we don't get it very often. You know, we have it like once a decade. So for us, if we're lucky, and we just want, just as the fan base, we don't necessarily even need success from Europe. It's just, you know, to get the T-shirt to say you're there as a part of a building process, like, you know, like Wolves have. Like, they don't necessarily, as a club, deserve to be there more than us, but they've earned the right to be there because they've been consistently good for the last 3 seasons to be there. Same as Leicester, like, fully deserve it. And, you know, like, we've all got our head on the ground. Like, we know that our squad isn't quite ready yet. To a certain, I think our team's ready. I think our first team, fully fit, can do a very, very good job in the Europa League. I don't think quite got the 100% quality that you need for Champions League. But no. Yeah, you say that to win it. God, no. I'm just saying, but you've got teams that are worse than us that are in the Champions League because they're in.
If we made the Champions League, I would literally just if I could get a ticket, I'd just be going to get pissed and have a laugh.
We'd be there just for a giggle, but that's not the point. It's more of the case of, like, you know.
My counteract to that point, James, and I'll let you carry on. My counteract to that is we haven't got the quality because we're not getting points. All right, we beat Spurs, okay, but we haven't got really any points against the actual top 6 teams that we call it.
Yeah, we only drew against Man City. They're not even that good.
No.
Yeah, they're bang average.
Against the top 6, what we've got 4 points.
5 points.
5 points.
Man City into extra time.
Tottenham.
So, yeah, I understand. It'd be great. Honestly, it'd be amazing if we somehow got Champions League football. Just out this world, incredible.
Ideally, do you know what? For an experience and for a laugh, top 4. Yes, I'll take it right now.
Next year, because obviously we'll be pot 4. And it'll be. You could easily get Barca, or maybe not Barca.
Oh, no. But then, to be fair, you say that. But what an experience it would be to have a group of death like that.
I love it.
How often do we get to play teams like that unless they're friendlies in some stupid cup?
And you never know. You could go and get one result, and that would make your season.
Remember when Celtic done it?
Yeah, you could hang your hat on that for the rest of the season and go, yeah, we beat Juventus, we beat whoever.
And that year that Leicester won the league, the following season, they got into the, didn't they get into like the
quarterfinals? They beat Seville.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes your momentum just carries you for a little bit. But, you know, like you've got for players like Rice that have got a high ambition, like, I know he wants to, like, at this point, he wants to stay. He's very, very happy in the club. He appears to be happy. He's enjoying being captain. You know, he's young. He's a young lad. He's surrounded by young lads, well, all the clowny ones that he's with. Like, he really enjoys where he is. Now, if they invest properly, they don't need to make a £50 million bloody signing. They just need to make sure that we're, you know, strengthening in the areas that we need to strengthen. Because our first team is good enough to do well. It's just
if we've got European football, there's one player that isn't getting a look in right now that I'd keep and really look at keeping is Anderson. He's got European experience, and I'd keep him for European nights probably. That's how I'd look at it.
I probably agree with you there.
It'd be worth keeping him and giving him another shot under Moyes.
But only if you're getting. I'd only sell him though if you're getting value. Because let's be honest, he's gone to Porto and done nothing. There's probably
barely played.
Like, he's probably not going to get you more than 20 million. So what's the worth in selling? Okay, he's on high wages. But you probably, if you are in the Europa League, going to get value out of him playing in the group stages. If we get...
He's
a good enough player to add value in the Premier League.
If we sold him and that 20 million went to a striker, I'd be quite happy with that as well. The one that, if we do get European football, the one that I'd actually really take and realistically want to take is probably Danny Ings. He's a finisher, and you're going to need a finisher.
I'll take Danny Ings. I like Danny
Ings.
I wouldn't. He's a finisher, Jamie.
If he was 2 or 3 years younger, then yeah, definitely. But he's He's
He
30 now.
He wouldn't be my first choice striker, but then name me another striker right now that is realistically out there that we know. Oh, yeah, you can go and give me all this Daka and whoever that we would link with.
I'd say
the one I'd want is Odsonne Edouard from Celtic. I think he's good enough to step up to the Premier League. He's young enough that he can develop and fit into the mould of players that are still improving at West Ham. Look, we've got an old squad. We need younger players. And Odsonne Edouard is, I think, 23, 24.
We need young, hungry players.
Unless Edouard is
fight and drive, they're not going to work.
Edouard is too good for Celtic. He will want to play in European football, and he gets to play in the best league in the world. Edouard would improve this team.
I'll take him at West Ham, without a doubt. Right, let's move on from this and let's talk about City at the weekend.
Do we have to?
No, massive game. But we know what is coming first. Before we talk about the game, it is Matt Stats.
Matt Stats!
Thank you very much. So, head-to-head, West Ham v Man City. 113 fixtures dating back to April 1924. Yeah, well, the thing is, there has been quite a few occasions where, obviously before the money, they would div quite a lot of the time. They would div one and stuff. We haven't always been in the same division. So yeah, 113 games. How many we won? I'll come to you first, Daryl, as reigning champion back to back.
2 in a row. What's going on? I'm going to go
Google merchant.
Check my history, as I said the other day.
No, I don't.
I'm going to go with we have won 37.
I was close to that, to be fair. I was going to go 36, but I'm going to now change because I want a little bit of a buffer. I'm going to go 34.
I'm going to go for 41.
Well, everyone's close. Everyone's staying close to me this time, and I'm the middle man. So if it's past me, I lose.
Well, we do need to check Daryl's history because we've won 37.
No. I'm
removing him.
We cannot tell me.
I'll let you come round here, Jay, and check my history.
I've not seen you watching gay porn on your phone.
That is unbelievable. 3 in a row.
Yeah. I'm not convinced.
Unbelievable. Honestly, on my missus' life. That's how much she's in the next room. That's how much I'm not lying. I have not checked them out. 3 in a row.
All right then. So yeah, 137, drawn 18, lost 58. Then Moyes' record v Man City. He's played them 32 times, won 13, drawn 5, lost 14.
That's not bad.
So fairly even Stevens there.
Before they were good.
Better against Mourinho.
Then it gets to slightly more worrying territory. Pep's record v West Ham. Played 10. Madness. Played 10, won 9, drawn 1, which is obviously the one earlier this season, and he hasn't lost to us yet. And then Moyes' record against Pep is played 8, won none, drawn 2, lost 6. So it's obviously a bit of backstory.
Have you got all of the results that City have had under Pep with us? It'd be interesting to try and work out how many goals we've conceded.
There's been a couple of fours. There's been a 5 in there, I think.
So we go back to 2017 would have been the first time, I think. Was it not
the first year at the first year at London Stadium, 2016, 2017?
Yes, this is all competitions. They in that time we have lost 3-1, 5-0, 4-0, 2-1, 4-1, 4-0, 1-0, 5-0, 2-0, and then the 1-1 draw earlier this season. And then I didn't even include in that there was a 4-1 loss in the Premier League Asia Trophy at the start of last season.
So if we're all doing predictions later on, 4s and 5s.
Yeah, it sounds like it. The one thing I didn't say as well, our highest win was a 6-1 win in Division 1 in 1963. What a night that must have been. Jeff Hurst bagged a brace. And then our biggest... Yeah.
Thank you.
And then biggest defeat was 6-0, and you'll probably remember it. It was the League Cup semi-final, first leg in 2014, when Roger Johnson,
the relegator,
played and fell over as Yaya Toure just ran at him.
So I've just checked. Since I've been a season ticket holder at the Olympic Stadium, I've only seen Man City in the stadium once. Like, I've been like, so this season, obviously, last season I was playing cricket. Season before I went to watch Dart. I never seem to see Man City live for some reason. I've just got a terrible history of missing them.
I went to the game last season. I was at the game, not last season, the last game at we played. What was that last season? No, it weren't, was it? I got free tickets for a mate and watched them absolutely tear us to pieces.
I've been to see us play Man City live, and it was in 1995.
I was going to say, was Niall Quinn playing?
I was in the West Stand upper, and I remember Georgia King Clancy was playing for them.
And if that's the game I remember, he scored. He would have scored.
He did score, but we won the game.
Yeah,
I think we won. I think we scored 4 in that game. It's something silly.
Yeah,
I remember one.
I love how you're referencing players I don't even know, and now they've got Kevin De Bruyne, Ruben Diaz, Edison, Bernardo Silva, and we're like,
don't know who they are.
I don't know that game. So
Man City, you know.
So it was 95 or 96.
It might have been one of them two. I don't know. I can't remember.
Must have been 96. We won 4-2.
At me then. Did Danny Williams score?
No. Niall Quinn got both of their goals, and then Ian Dowie scored twice.
No, it can't have been that.
Can we talk about Saturday?
Danny Carvalho.
I can't remember. I was like a little kid. But yeah. Right, yeah, back to Saturday. We're going to lose 4-0.
Okay,
James, just to let you know, it's a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday.
Oh, okay, thank you.
What channel? Sky? BT?
BT.
That'll be BT, won't it?
Streamfc.com.
Right. With Saturday, the last time we played a big club, because I'm not counting Spurs as a big club anymore. Well, we're a bigger club than them, in fact. And if Kane wanted to, if Kane wants to come play for West Ham, but we don't want him.
Darryl, you're treading on very dangerous ground here, mate.
This is where big clubs.
The last time we played a big club, we went a bit more. I wouldn't say defensive, but we sort of went back in our shell a little bit. United in the cup.
And then as well.
Do you think he'll go back to playing a bit more like maybe a back 5 again, like he has on against the bigger side?
I do. I think that'd be sensible. I couldn't hold it against him for doing that though either. Like especially like the defense. If we're gonna do anything in this game and hold them in any year, this year is going to be the time that it's going to happen. And
they're the best team in the world at the moment. I can't see a world where you get a result.
They're so good, and I think we need a 5.
I'm going for it, James. Sorry.
So we do need that 5. I think.
Go on? Sorry.
It'll be good. Like I think with Rice as well and Souček doing their bit, I think will be harder for them to be. Will be harder to beat for them. But like you said, they've got so much quality that it might get too much for us. Personal opinion for me, I wouldn't change it from the weekend for a couple of reasons. We just beat Spurs, yeah, which is bang on. I know
but they're not a big club.
I know. I'm not going to retract it because I hate them, but they are. They're still decent enough. All right, not as decent as us, but they're decent enough. Let's not change it, maybe. But I wouldn't personally change it. And the way Cancelo plays on the right.
Yeah.
As he comes in, if we've got those attacking players with pace, I know we're going to be under a lot of cosh, but if we can break like we do with him drifting in field and up front, it allow us more space. And if we can sit in with a bank of 4 and a bank of 5 with Antonio doing all the dog work up front, we can definitely break on them. Look, I'm expecting a drubbing. I am really expecting a drubbing because they're that good.
I would have agreed with you, but for me right now, they've got the best goalkeeper in the league. They've got the best player in the league in Kevin De Bruyne, and they've got the best signing and centre-back in the league. Ruben Diaz has been an absolute revelation. That guy is absolute incredible footballer.
Normally, Normally, I'd say it's doing us a favour that they're playing tomorrow night in Europe, but they could play 2 different 11s and still have the ability to beat us on our best day.
Do you know what? At their bench, sorry, I'm just going to say these were their players on the bench against Arsenal on Sunday who didn't play. Sergio Aguero, Phil Foden, Aymeric Laporte, Benjamin Mendy, Rodri, Fernand Torres, Kyle Walker are all outfield players that didn't play on Sunday.
Only one of them gets on our side, yeah?
Phil Foden.
Phil Foden, yeah, exactly. Only one of them. One.
They just have so much ability across the pitch. The only thing I could see potentially us doing is if I would personally go back to the back 5, but I could see us going with a back 4 and see the return of Fredericks on the right wing. And then potentially Fornals on the left where they're a bit more defensive. That's just the other option. But I think back 5's the way to go. You still can then encourage your wing backs to try and get forward where possible. And then you need Antonio's got a big game ahead of him. He's going to have to run their defence around.
I know we're going backwards very quickly, but I know Tom Willits would like this comment. He's a big fanboy of Fornals. I thought that was a bit of a masterstroke by Moyes, not playing him for a couple of weeks, saving for Spurs. He knew he could do his defensive job. And it was a perfect game for Fornals to play. And he actually looked really good on the ball at times as well. I thought
Did you guys see the breakdown of like how much of an influence he took Dyer away for Antonio to score that goal on that run? Like things like that, they go so unnoticed, and he does do a lot of stuff that isn't the stuff, the match of the day stuff, if you want to call it. So like he's playing very well at the moment.
I agree. I do agree. Right, give me some predictions. Actually, before that, I'll give you some odds. Man City are 2-9 on. The draw is 11-2, and we are 10-1 to win at the weekend.
It's not that bad, actually.
In a one-off game,
I was picturing like something stupid, like
it's a one-off game, though, ain't it?
In games like that.
Yeah, I don't think you normally get a team bigger than like 20-1. Like
I might have a little bit on the draw. 11-2. It's not bad.
Look, they're the best team in the country. They're the best team in the world.
Second best team.
We get a result. We need a lot of luck. I think we need a lot to go our way. I can't see anything outside of.
You not think your mate can keep another clean sheet then, Big Craig Dawson? He's not good enough.
Mate, I like Craig Dawson, but Kevin De Bruyne just fucking scares me. Like they're too good. If this is one of them games where if we lose, none of us will come on this podcast and be ultra distraught because they haven't lost. They haven't dropped a point or drawn a game since the start of lockdown 3.0. That's how good this team is.
I agree, Jamie, in terms of, we're fully expecting a loss. But if they sit back and don't even try, then I'll be
James.
I know, but at least try. Like, if I can see that they're all working hard, that's completely different. But there has been games where, where we have give other teams a little bit too much respect. But yeah, I know what you're saying though. I do agree to a certain extent.
Just a quick live update. Chelsea have gone 1-0 up with, I believe it was Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, Olivier Giroud. I put it on.
Oh, is that the Giroud that's not good enough at West Ham, according to some?
I've just seen
we're above them in the league. Shut up, man.
I've just seen that. That's got to be offside. But
I think it was given and then not given, and now it's been given.
That looks really. I've only seen that at a quick glance. That looks controversial. It really does. Is it because it might have come off the defender? Maybe why that's been pulled on. But that looked really offside. Anyway, give me a prediction, James, for the weekend.
I'm going to go with 3-0 City.
I'm with James on that, 3-0.
Mick?
I was going to go 3-1. I reckon I'm backing us to get a goal. But
I'm going to go 3-1. I actually think we score first. I think we score first, we score early, and then we'll get pinned back, and we won't have the same luck like we did against Spurs. And I'm going to go with Lingard to carry on his run. I'm going to get Lingard to get another one against a Manchester side.
I'm going with a set-piece goal from Big Tommy Such. He ain't scored in a couple of games.
Also, I'm just saying this is more of a...
I wonder how black his eye was at the week.
Your bear was rough.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this off the cuff out there. If by some miracle, absolute miracle, we win, where do we finish this season? Do we then have to say top 4 is our minimum, or top 4 should be what we should get?
Not minimum.
If we win at the weekend, you still got to be saying top 7.
I think top 7 then becomes
top 6.
Yeah, personally, I think if you win against City, because they're 3 points that no one else would have expected.
It's just a one-off game. They could easily play Wednesday night, and I know they could play 2 different sides. We know how strong they are.
We kind of
away in Romania, I believe, Budapest. They play away, and then it's not like it's a Sunday kickoff. It is a 12:30 Saturday kickoff. It's a one-off game. It's football. You said it last night, Matt. Football, that's why we love football. Anything can happen. Palace last night deserved nothing at that game. They won 2-1. Palace were, from what I see, horrendous. It can happen. And that's what you got to look at. But does one game define where we finish the rest of the season? No. Not for me. Because Leeds, we could easily go to Leeds and get dicked.
Yeah.
We've got to take every game as we go now. Yeah, you're right. Top 7 then becomes probably where we should be. But you've still got to think there are going to be games where we're not at our best this year.
Yeah, we've. You know what? I was thinking regarding the European places. I think it's supposed to stop at 5, isn't it? And then goes down depending on who wins the cups and stuff like that. So
yes, but 6. We're cheering on Man City. We're cheering on Man City in the Carabao Cup.
Well, we need also Tottenham to win the Europa League.
No, we don't want Tottenham to win the Europa League.
Then that takes a league spot.
We want foreign teams. We want a foreign team to win the Europa League, or a Man United because they're going to get Champions League, and then we want Man City or Man U to win the FA Cup. Basically, if a non-European team, a team that's already in Europe, wins a League Cup or an FA Cup, the place drops to 6.
Down one. Yeah. So. Because then you've got the qualification process, isn't you? We kind of need to avoid that as well if we can. We don't want another goo-goo incident.
You need to come 5th. You need to come 5th to avoid qualification.
I believe as well, we are right up there in the Fair Play Award as well.
Yeah, we are. I did have a quick check, by the way. I don't think we've got to worry about Astra Giurgiu because they're currently 10th in the Romanian league.
We are going on a European tour next year. I think that's it today, boys. I really enjoyed that, to be fair. So, however tired I was, I have really enjoyed that. I think we will record probably Sunday morning after the City game. Fingers crossed. That'll probably be the only time I can do next week because of moving house. Right. I think that's it. We will talk to you guys again over the weekend. Fingers crossed we do get some sort of result. I just don't want to be thumped.
All you want is a good performance.
Exactly. And I'll take that all day long against a very, very good side. And let's hope that they get... Let's hope it's a tough game from tomorrow night and it's not a walkover. To really put some miles in their legs again. So that is us today. Cheers, boys. Really enjoyed that, as I said. And last thing to say is, come on your irons.
Go on your irons.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Well said.
Come on your irons.
Come on your irons.